Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Empress Dowager Cixi, of the Yehe Nara clan, was a significant political figure during the late Qing dynasty. She was a concubine of Emperor Qianlong and the biological mother of Emperor Tongzhi. Cixi's life was deeply intertwined with the history of the Qing dynasty, and she had a profound impact on the fate of the nation. Cixi entered the palace in the second year of Emperor Qianlong's reign, 1852, and was initially bestowed the title of Lan Guiran. Some records refer to her as Yi Guiran. In the following year, she was promoted to Yi Pin. After giving birth to the emperor's first son, Zetian, later Emperor Tongzhi, her status gradually rose, and she eventually became Yi Guifei. In the 11th year of Emperor Qianlong's reign, 1861, Emperor Tongzhi ascended the throne, and she, along with Empress Dowager Cixi, was honored as the Holy Mother Empress Dowager, receiving the title Cixi. Subsequently, Cixi, in alliance with Empress Dowager Cixi and Prince Gong, initiated the Xinyo coup, the Xinyo Revolution, in 1861. They successfully defeated the 8 ministers who had been controlling the government and seized power. In her early years of rule, Cixi focused on reforming the bureaucracy, promoting Han Chinese officials, and seeking support from foreign powers. Under her leadership, the Qing dynasty successfully suppressed several rebellions, including the Taiping Rebellion and the Nian Rebellion, which temporarily restored stability to the government. At the same time, the rise of the self-strengthening movement, Yanguo movement, laid the foundation for China's industrial and commercial development, a period later referred to as the Tongzhi Restoration. After the death of Emperor Tongzhi, Cixi selected Emperor Qianlong, the son of Emperor Qianlong's nephew, to succeed the throne. Following the sudden death of Empress Dowager Cixi and the dismissal of Prince Gong, Cixi fully consolidated power. Over the following years, although she briefly allowed the throne to be returned to Emperor Guangxu, after the Wushu coup, 1898, she regained control over the government. With the rise of the Boxer Rebellion, Cixi used the movement to confront the foreign powers, which eventually led to the invasion of China by the 8-nation alliance. After returning to Beijing, she began implementing reforms aimed at saving the declining Qing dynasty, including new policies and constitutional measures. On October 21, 1908, Emperor Guangxu passed away, and Cixi immediately chose Puyi to succeed the throne, and from then on, she was honored as the Empress Dowager. She passed away the following day in Ilwan Hall at the age of 74. She was buried in the Eastern Qing tombs, with the posthumous title Empress Dowager Shaoqin Xian. Empress Dowager Cixi's life was full of mysteries, and many of her actions and habits remain difficult to understand. Some of them are even quite amusing. One particularly unique habit was her request for palace maids to wait beside her when she went to the bathroom, with the maids holding warm water in their mouths. This habit, though strange and hard to imagine, seemed to be fueled by some kind of obsession. In the strict regulations of the ancient palace, it is indeed surprising that Cixi had such a peculiar request. Furthermore, Cixi's later years were marked by luxury and meticulous ritual, especially after she moved into the remodeled Chuxiu Palace, which had undergone 3 rounds of renovations. Each renovation cost a considerable amount, with the 3rd renovation costing as much as 630,000 taels of silver, an astronomical expense at the time. According to relevant historians, after Cixi began ruling behind the curtains, she maintained a very strict daily routine. She usually went to bed at 9 p.m. and woke up before 5 a.m. This disciplined schedule helped her maintain high work efficiency and reflected her control over both power and life. Before every morning court session, Cixi had a unique preparation ritual. She would do 7 things: soaking her hands, washing her face, combing her hair, taking a walk, smoking, drinking tea, and having a meal. Each activity reflected her strict attention to detail and her efforts to maintain an elegant image. Soaking her hands was the most time-consuming part of Cixi's daily routine. The palace maids would wait by her side, ready to adjust the water temperature to her liking. When the warm water gently glided over her hands, her skin would become soft and delicate. This simple yet ritualistic process was an important part of her daily life. It is worth noting that Cixi did not have a fixed place to dine. When she had a meal, 3 large tables were first set up with white cloth. The eunuchs would stand in the courtyard, bringing in many food boxes. The food boxes, in yellow, would contain 2 large bowls and 4 small ones. The bowls were yellow with green dragons or the character, longevity, patterns. Each meal would consist of around 150 dishes, arranged in long rows, with large bowls and small plates mixed in an orderly manner. In addition, 2 small tea tables were set aside for fruit plates, which contained candied lotus seeds, melon seeds, walnuts, and other dried and fresh fruits, for casual snacking after the meal. When drinking tea, the tea was mixed with honeysuckle flowers. The main dishes at her meals included pork, mutton, chicken, duck, and wild vegetables. For example, in terms of meatballs, there were both red and white varieties. In addition to clear soup shark fin, steamed chicken and duck, and braised chicken and duck. There were also egg pancakes, fragrant meats, cabbage stewed with meat, radishes stewed with meat, cherry pickled pork, onion cooked meat slices, and stir-fried bamboo shoots with shredded meat. Not only was eating a ritualistic activity for Empress Dowager Cixi, but so was her bath, which was also a highly ceremonial event. The most consuming part of this process was the towels. At least 100 towels were needed for a single bath. And these towels had to be made through a series of intricate processes by palace maidens who were specially tasked with sewing. The exquisite and luxurious nature of these towels reflected Cixi's extreme pursuit of a high-quality lifestyle. Additionally, for Cixi, the toilet was not just a simple facility but a private space of her own. Her toilet was called the official room and, based on traditional public toilets, it underwent several renovations until it took the form that satisfied her. The toilet in the official room was made of sandalwood, a material known for its hardness and rarity, which was commonly used in the homes of high-ranking officials. Not only was the toilet unique in material, but it was also adorned with diamonds presented by tribes, making it appear even more luxurious. To maintain fresh air, scented air fresheners were often placed beside the toilet, highlighting her elegance and nobility. For Cixi, even using the toilet was an event that required meticulous preparation. During this process, many palace maidens and eunuchs would wait nearby to ensure everything proceeded according to her demands. One of the most elaborate details was the heating of the toilet paper. Palace maidens would hold warm water in their mouths to warm the paper before she used it. Only when the paper was suitably warm would Cixi consent to use it. While such a complicated process may be hard for ordinary people to understand, for Cixi, it was an enjoyable ritual. Historical records suggest that Cixi's insistence on this ritual was not only about the pursuit of a comfortable life but also about motivating palace maidens through rewards. The maidens would compete to improve their service in the hopes of receiving more rewards, creating an atmosphere of competition. Cixi's approach strengthened her control and influence over the maidens in the palace. However, as the maidens continued to provide service, they also accumulated bacteria on their bodies. Especially since they would often hold water in their mouths, the bacteria in their mouths grew significantly over time. Despite this, the maidens had to obey without question, becoming the victims of Cixi's absolute power. Thus, under Cixi's rule, the status of palace maidens was extremely low. Their value was maximized to serve her needs, leaving them with no personal choice. The lives of the maidens were nearly disconnected from power and wealth. Their existence was only to satisfy Cixi's luxurious daily needs, and any small mistake could result in severe punishment. If the palace were compared to a pyramid, the palace maidens were undoubtedly at the very bottom. Their lives and dignity were almost completely suppressed. Behind Cixi's luxurious lifestyle lay extreme exploitation and control over the maidens. An unequal power structure that was nearly the norm in China's feudal society at the time. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.